I just went undefeated at locals using only 3 of the Fire King structure decks. Here's my deck list and some thoughts on the deck. In the main deck I'm playing 3 Ponyx. This searches any Fire King spell on summon. We are not playing the traps, so we will not be searching them. It can add itself back from the graveyard, the standby phase after it was destroyed, and it can special summon itself if a fire monster is destroyed. Then 3 Avatar 𝐅𝐢𝐫𝐞. This is a monster negate, so it's great to just normal summon this, then do your searches. And if your opponent wants to draw you, you can negate the draw, or you can trade interruptions with your opponent and normal summon this into an established board. And if they try to use one of their negates, just use the Avatar 𝐅𝐷𝐷𝐷. If he's destroyed, he can special summon basically any Fire King monster from your graveyard, negate its effects, and destroying during the end phase. This has synergy with some other cards. Then we are playing 3 𝐊𝐢𝐽. This can special summon itself just like the Ponyx if a fire monster is destroyed, and it's a spell or trap negate by destroying a fire monster we control except himself, or a fire monster in our hand, just like the Avatar negate is. Then we are playing 3 𝐅𝐢𝐫𝐿. We are playing this mostly just to destroy him. If he's destroyed during the next standby phase, we can search any Fire King card from our deck to the hand. Because it searches during the standby phase, you can't get rolled, and because it searches any Fire King card, it really is good ash bait. So yeah, your opponent most of the time will ash this if they got an ash, and then not ash the island, for example. Then for the high level ones, we are playing 3 Fire King High Avatar Kirin. This one is a hand trap. It can, during the main phase, as a quick effect, special summon itself by destroying a fire monster on our side of the field or in our hand. This way we can special summon this during our opponent's turn from our hand, so we can play after Dark Ruler no more, I guess. And if we special summon this, we can special summon the Ponyx, for example. We can special summon the 𝐅𝐿𝐵𝐿, for example, because both of these can special summon themselves if a fire monster is destroyed. And this can trigger the 𝐅𝐿𝐵𝐿, for example, or this can trigger the Avatar 𝐅𝐷𝐷𝐷 if it destroys them. It's just really good. And sometimes this just is a better Nibiru, because you get rid of your opponent's monsters before their 5th summon, and you can build a board. It's really crazy. Another card that can special summon itself if a fire monster is destroyed is Sacred Fire King 𝐊𝐢𝐳𝐷. This one is insane. It special summons itself from the hand or graveyard if a fire monster is destroyed, and if this special summons itself, it can destroy any fire winged beast or beast warrior in your hand, on your side of the field, or in your deck. This means that it's basically a foolish, but it can't be ashed, and because it destroys, you can trigger things like the Kirin on destruction effect, which is crazy. If Kirin is destroyed, you can special summon any Fire King monster from your hand or graveyard, and then you can non-target destroy a card on the field. It's really good. It's just this and this in hand, plus another fire monster, if you go second, is just insane. To have more fire monsters to destroy and to have a fire monster with a good destruction effect, we are playing 3 Fencing Fire Ferret. This, if it's destroyed, targets a monster your opponent controls, destroys it, and burns them for 500. It wins you games in time, if you want to win games in time with it. It is removal, because the Avatar 𝐅𝐷𝐷𝐷 only negates the activation of a monster effect, he doesn't destroy. So if you destroy the Fencing Fire Ferret with it, you can negate and destroy with it. And finally, for our fire monsters, we are playing 1 Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys. Because this deck really doesn't have much spell and trap removal, it's good that you can destroy this in the deck with the 𝐊𝐿𝐵𝐿. So you can, if you draw this, destroy it with Kirin, or if you have it in the deck, you can destroy it with the 𝐊𝐿𝐵𝐿. And this way you can destroy it during your opponent's turn if they go first, and then on your standby phase you can special summon this and have a Heavy Storm. It's really nice to have it as a one-off in the deck, just to have some more options in the deck to destroy. For the spells, we are playing 2 Island. Island just searches you anything by destroying something. Most of the time, if you don't have 𝐊𝐿𝐵𝐿 yet, you're gonna search the 𝐊𝐿𝐵𝐿. Or if you don't have the 𝐊𝐿𝐵𝐿, I always search the Kirin if I haven't had it yet. Sanctum activates Island from the deck, so this can't get ashed, but this can get ogred, which really hurts if you get ogred on the Sanctum. Then it's either you've drawn the island or you haven't, and then you can't use island for the rest of the turn. Then I'm playing 3 Skyfire. This is just great at dodging targeting effects and its removal. Because it's a quick play, you can set it and then use it on your opponent's turn as well. It's really nice. Then 1 Circle of Fire Kings. This dodges targeting effects as well. It's a bit better than Skyfire, because Skyfire needs our opponent to can draw cards that we can actually target. Circle of the Fire Kings just targets one we control and one in the graveyard, specials the one from the grave and destroys the one on field. It's nice to trigger some targeting effects like the Kieran, for example, but it's not as good as the Skyfire. Finally, we are playing 3 Tenki, just because this can search this, this and this. It hurts if you want to search this and then you get rolled, but yeah, skill issue, I guess. And for the non-Fire King hand traps, we are playing 3 Droll and 3 Imperm, because both of these crazy cards get reprinted in the structure deck. In the extra deck, I am pretty much just playing everything that came in the structure decks times 3. I'm playing 3 Heater, 3 Diamond Direwolf, 3 Coach King, and 3 Infinity. I've summoned Infinity once and I regretted it because it wasn't as good as just keeping the monsters I had on field, but because Sanctum can special summon Infinity on your opponent's turn, it's another threat that your opponent has to try and play around. So oftentimes they will refrain from using their special summon for some time, and it's just a threat that they can keep in the back of their minds, and you can get on in your opponent's head with it. I used Coach King to burn for game once. It was really fun. And other times I wanted to maybe summon the Coach King, but then I decided just to keep the big beat sticks on my side of the field, because having big beat sticks and swinging over things is better than skipping your battle phase and using the Coach King effect. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a +2, but skipping my battle phase if I have lethal on board is just not the right play. Diamond Direwolf never came up, and Heater never came up as well. I didn't play any mirror matches at my locals, even though 50% of the people were playing Fire Kings. But Heater would have been great in a mirror match, probably, I guess, but I didn't play any mirror matches at my last locals. And then, in the side deck, we are playing some cards that I was playing against purely, because I was expecting purely. We are playing 3 Dogoran. You can play the Herald spell instead, but I'm more of a fan of Dogoran because this can be used against other decks than purely, and it can be used against boards with more than one monster. Then 3 Alphas. Alpha can bounce the Dogoran so that we can use the Dogoran again, and it's just a big buddy. 2 more Sacred Phoenix of Neptus in case we play against some back row matchup. 1 Blaster just to out problematic one-offs on the field. 3 Judgment, because this can just negate a summon as well. Flammable Counter can't do that, and I don't really care about my life points. And Flammable Counter needs some amount of setup, not much, but Solemn Judgment is still the better card. And finally, we are playing 3 Power Sink Stone. I was always a big fan of Power Sink Stone. Back when I played Triumphs, I loved it, and I like it really much in this deck as well. It's basically skill drain, but slightly worse, but there was no skill drain in the structure deck, so we're playing Power Sink Stone. As I said, I went undefeated. My matchups were Chimera Branded, Flanderies, and then some Dogmatica, Bestial, Branded, Despia, Pile in the last round. I didn't really struggle against any of them, and other people were playing Fire Kings as well, and were playing them with the Dogmatica engine or with Tri-Brigade, and they had not as much success as I had, I got to say proudly, but they bricked as well. So I think that just playing 3 of all the good cards is one version of having a very consistent Fire King deck. Yeah, I hope you liked the list. I hope you have as much fun with the Fire King structure deck as I have been having, and I wish all of you a pleasant day. I'll put the deck list up on screen again. Like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.